What's going on, Fame Analytics family? It's your man Algernon October. If you've never been to my page, I appreciate you following through. Send me a like. Give me a subscribe. If you've been to my page before, I welcome you back. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Judas and the Black Messiah. I had an opportunity to see an advanced screening of the movie via Warner Brothers Pictures, and Atlanta Influences Everything. Appreciate y'all. Now, sitting at home watching a movie is cool, but it's nothing like being in a theater. I truly miss that about this whole pandemic we got going on. But either way, we're going to be all right. All right. Now, we've seen a few incarnations of the Black Panther Party story, but I think that this film gives the best account of what really went on behind the scenes as well as in the community. I went into this movie just like any other Black trauma film, kind of prepared for powerful visuals of horrible acts of violence and bigotry committed against people of color, specifically African Americans or Black or whatever we're calling ourselves these days. This film lived up to those assumptions, but it also provided a more nuanced narrative to what the organization was really all about. The Black Panther Party has always been painted with a very racially biased brush of being a group of militant terrorists looking to eradicate white opposition on their way to world domination, of course. The media and the government have gone out of their way to really suppress any real images of community service, uplift, empowerment, and really replace those images with passionate speeches, and most importantly, Black people holding guns, scary people of color looking to do you harm by any means necessary. The true villains of the story had arrived on the scene, per usual. But this film was more than that. The producers decided to give you an inside look into the inner workings of a grassroots community revolution, but not a violent mechanism, but a rebellion against the issues that plague their communities, like poverty and poor health, lack of jobs and childcare services, and most importantly, which is the focal point of the film, police brutality for all people of color, not just, Black. They showed us that large groups of young people could come together and begin to help themselves, empowering each other and providing resources to those who needed it, and kind of taking that gospel beyond the borders of just their city. I was happy to see the filmmakers dispel a lot of myths around the organization, like everybody in the organization was walking around with the intention of hurting someone, or that was at the nucleus or its inception. And I mean, yes, it's unfortunate that, there were some that may have gone to that extreme, but I'll say this: when an entire race of people feel like they're under siege at every moment of their lives, you may see an extreme response from some. That's just human. But it also really highlighted what I feel is a common trend within the Black community, and that's one of our own acting as an agent in our destruction. It's a narrative that is way too common, as we tell our stories, and I hope that it changes in the generations to come. Overall, though, I think that they did produce a fair balance of good and bad about the organization. Nothing is without its flaws or issues, and overall, it was a well-casted, well-acted film with a much-needed reminder of the impact of people like Fred Hampton and others who made so much of an impact and a change and an impression at a young age. And the movie does move at a pretty fast pace. It's a 2-hour film. Yeah, it's 2 hours long. It gets right to the point, though. It doesn't let you go really into the end credits. And even the end credits, have your all damn moments encoded in their delivery. So it's clear that they wanted to drive home certain points that have been in the making for generations. The whole cast is really amazing. There's no weak links to be found in anyone's performance. So overall, I think it's a good flick. It's not as triggering as some other, Black films or films of this similar nature are. It's, in my opinion, pretty light, but it still definitely has some moments that'll definitely, make you a little upset and maybe trigger you. But either way, it's a good film. It's a good point of reference. I'd recommend anybody take a look at it if that's something that you're interested in. Definitely do some research on it. Anyway, I appreciate y'all stopping through, getting my perspective. What did you think? Did you have an opportunity to see the movie? And if so, what were your thoughts? If you haven't seen the movie, are you planning on seeing it? Put some thoughts in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the page for more videos like this. I appreciate you. Love, peace, and be safe.